Justice League Throne of Atlantis is a DC animated film that's based on, you guessed it, the graphic novel entitled Throne of Atlantis that was written by Jeff Johns. Boy, these DC animated movies are loving doing these Jeff John based stories. I mean, he probably writes some of the best stuff in the New 52, so I can't really blame them. The plot is we meet Arthur Curry, who I didn't even know that was Aquaman's real name, but I guess it is. His father, his human father, has just died, so he's lost, he's depressed, which you understand, and he finds out that he's half human and half Atlantean from the land Atlantis. I say land, but it's underwater. And some of these people want to go to war with who they call the surface dwellers, because at the end of the last movie, War, some of their people got killed in that fight, and they blame the humans for it. So not only does the queen of the Atlanteans not want to go to war, she's trying to keep the peace, but when something happens to her, this war is about to begin. Now, what I thought of Throne of Atlantis was, I liked this movie. I did. I wouldn't say I loved it. I wouldn't say I enjoyed it as much as the last film, Justice League War. That was just something else. So much action, so much going on there. This one, though, I respected the fact that it was an origin story of Aquaman, because even though it's New 52, it's not his original backstory, I don't think. I've never seen any origin story of Aquaman that I can think of, so this was something different. And even though, like I said, it's not the original backstory, I'm assuming it's still something. It's still something interesting to the character, because Aquaman is somebody that you have to introduce in an interesting and relatable way. So seeing him first as a human and dealing with the death of his father and realizing who he is and what powers he might have, that was cool. That's the best way to do the origin. In fact, when I was thinking about how could they do the live action movie, this would be the way to go. I even liked the mythology that was built up for the Atlantis people, and how the queen, she wasn't happy with her king, and she left for a little while, went up to the surface and had relations with who was Aquaman's father, and that's how he was conceived. But she couldn't stay there. It was forbidden. So she came back, and he never knew his mom, and never knew about all of this until now. And the fact that she didn't want to go to war with the people on Earth, and her other son, the king's son, he is evil. He's like, no, we need to go to war. We have to get them back, and you're not honoring my father. He hates Aquaman, his half-brother, obviously. So you do get a little bit of that low-key thing with him from Thor, Marvel. And if they did do this character in the live-action movie, it would be hard, right, to not have people say, oh, this is a rip-off of Thor and Marvel. No matter which character came first, it's hard. I mean, I don't know how you avoid that. But I want to talk about some of the other members of the Justice League. We have Superman and Wonder Woman, who are in fact in a relationship. The last movie set it up about them possibly liking each other, but here they're together. And I really like that. I mean, I like more so seeing them in their secret identity personas. Clark Kent, who is taking Diana Prince out on a date, and he even gave her glasses for the secret identity, which somehow works. You just put glasses on somebody and you can't recognize them. And seeing them out on a date was kind of cute, and them just wanting to have a normal life, at least for that time. Lois Lane even shows up, and she meets Wonder Woman, and that was probably a little awkward. I too was like, what happens to Lois if Clark Kent is not dating her? It was weird, but still rather interesting. And I also want to mention their new suits, because Superman, he's had this new suit, I think, ever since the New 52 stuff. I think that's when that came in. It was in the Man of Steel movie, so I guess you could say I'm a little more used to it. However, in animation form, it still is hard to get used to. The blue is very dark. Obviously, the red trunks are gone, and and it's going to be a while before I fully embrace that. I do miss the old school look that I've grown up with Superman with. But even Wonder Woman has a new look, and I can't say I'm upset because I'm so attached to the old Wonder Woman look. I shouldn't really care. It's just, she looks a little off, right? I mean, she has a lot of blue in her costume. It's just, that I have to get used to as well. And she flies. I had to look this up because I never knew Wonder Woman to be able to fly. I knew she had the invisible jet, which I know is very goofy, and people make fun of that all the time. But I guess she's been flying, like, herself since the 80s. Who fucking know? I didn't know. And so, I don't know. If she did have an invisible jet, that would probably be too goofy to take. So I guess it makes more sense for her to just fly. It just caught me off guard. Cyborg is a character that they did a little bit with. And I mentioned how I don't love the Cyborg character, but I did like how they tried to examine the fact that he is more man or more machine than man. And he even goes under this program that lets him dream and pretend that he's human again so that he can just keep those feelings. And that I liked, I appreciated. It's something that you have to get out of the character for me to give a shit about him. And last but not least, I want to mention Green Lantern, who was my favorite once again in this movie. I really enjoyed him in the last one. Here, the humor was still there. You could tell that the New 52, or at least these new animated movies like Green Lantern, they have him do a lot of funny stuff. His interaction with Batman is some of the coolest and funniest parts, like when Batman's not answering the Justice League's call to meet up. Green Lantern goes to Gotham. He sees Batman dealing with these scarecrow criminals. So Green Lantern's like, alright, you know what, let me help him out. Quickly get rid of them. He does that, but Batman's pissed. Batman's like, because now those criminals are being taken away by cops, and Batman's like, I wanted to interrogate them. I wanted to scare them. I wanted to find out Scarecrow's location. I wanted to find out who Scarecrow is going after. And you just fucked this up. Thanks a lot. And Hal Jordan's like, whoops. I love that. If I can get an animated movie with just the two of them, that'd be great. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Justice League Throne of Atlantis? I enjoyed it. Not as much action as Justice League War, but still good moments. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!